Nothing like cutting a little wood to get you feeling all warm and fuzzy inside. So Trader Joe's actually suggested that it would have been nice to see a comparison between the farmer and the Rucksak, so the smaller saw and the bigger one. There's a difference in size, about, what, 1 centimeter, and a small difference in thickness. And I also have the Leatherman, which is about this size, the size of the small one. And you can see the teeth on the Leatherman all go down. So I would say it's more of a pull saw. But why don't you just watch the tests and I'll tell you the conclusions afterwards. I'm going to go through here because it's actually a bit thicker than down here, and I do want a good handhold so that I can push on this side so the saw won't jam as much. And I'm going to start with the bigger saw, that is the Rucksak. Okay, move the piece of wood to about here and take the farmer. And just for a comparison, let's see how the saw on the Leatherman Wave does. The teeth on this one are not like on the Victorinox. This is more a pull saw, but roughly the same diameter. This was the piece that I cut off with the farmer, so I'm gonna try to give myself a bit more room, see how it does. Well, this was a bit thinner, but except for the fact that it's not very comfortable in hand, I would say it does rather well. Now, this is hardwood. It's not like hazel. It's dogwood. It is tough. This one is dry, not completely. So the tree died, I'm guessing, this year. And it's tough. Let's take this size. Okay? Now, with this saw, you will have little room to play. Why am I saying that? Well, this is the whole motion you're going to be able to make. And if you can push on this part while the other one is anchored, that's good, because the saw won't jam. But the handle is thin, and the saw is, well, kind of little. Okay, so if it would have a thicker handle, probably you would have more control. Now this one is pretty nice. You have a longer trajectory, right? And the handle's thicker, so it's going to stay in your hand much better. And once again, if you can push on this side, on the other side that you're cutting, it's good, because it's going to split the wood and you'll be able to go through. Now, from my experience with this one, even if you can't push or pull against the side that you're cutting on, even if you can't do that, it'll jam sometimes, but not that bad. And you'll still be able to get this back in the slot because the hole is bigger. With this one, it's smaller. So, of course, I'm not just relying on the test I did just now, I'm relying on everything I know, and this is my most used Victorinox knife. What was surprising to me was that the saw on the Leatherman did such a good job. I used this a couple of times, and I really wasn't that interested in the saw on the Leatherman. For the Leatherman, I was more interested in the file, the diamond file it has, and the coarser file, the blades, and the pliers. Main tools for me, not the saw. However, it does a very good job. The only thing is, with this one, you need to push on both sides. So anchor one side, and then if you're going to cut in the middle, push on both sides. If you don't, this one will jam. For me, it was like that. I can't say, maybe my technique is a little bit off, I don't know, but it will jam. Now, for the size it is, the saw on this one is about the same size, well, it is the same size as the saw on the Farmer. With this one, you have more control. Even if the saw is not in the middle, it doesn't bother you, but you have more to grab on there, which is good. The only problem is you're grabbing on the back of the knife blade, the back of the serrated knife blade, the clip if you have it, and it's all sharp corners, so it's gonna hurt a bit. Wear a glove, you're fine. I must say, I didn't really plan for this. I mean, I've thought about it, but I didn't plan, and I just said, oh, well, I do have my wave with me, why don't I just, because the wave pretty much always comes with me. Gets little use, but comes with me. I just think it's a cool tool. And I was pretty surprised by this. So I hope you can tell, if you were interested in this little test, what you wanted to know. If not, please let me know. I'll be glad to answer any questions. As for my most used Victorinox knife, it's the Rucksak. I do have the Forester, which I like more because the blade is in the middle. However, the most used tool on this Victorinox knife is the saw, and that is because I always have a knife on my belt. But having a saw with this, and it does give you the option of having a very clean, very sharp blade. It's pretty cool. So yeah, I would choose the Rucksak or the Forester, the bigger ones, you know, for the woods. A bigger saw is always going to take you further than a smaller saw.
I hope you liked the video. Thanks, Joe, for the good idea. I don't know why I didn't just do it in the first video, but sometimes we forget. And if you guys should have any more questions, I didn't go into larger diameter pieces of wood because it would have just been a drag, more effort, and the result is basically the same. The only thing that's wrong with this one is maybe the handle is too thin that'll give you enough support, but it's very capable. So my first opinion or second or whatever opinion about this one that I had stands. It's a good EDC knife and a good knife to have with you in the woods. No, this one's a bit bigger and size does matter. I wish you all a great day.